Super, super progressive. What is good? Really excited for the video today because not only do we have a new video, but a brand new video series. Now, a huge reason why I fell in love with the Global Underground series is because of Dom Phillips' album notes, right? Just as much as the music, just as much as Dean Belcher's photography, it's the album notes for me that really make these albums so special. I'm a journalist and I just love to read Dom Phillips's words about the album, how it came to be and how the scene was back then. So one thing I noticed is that these albums, the physical albums, are really, really hard to get these days. And on Discogs, it's not always, the album notes are not always included in the photos that are uploaded. So I just thought that I want to share how I fell in love with this music and this album series with so many other kids my age around the world. And also I want to let, you know, older clubbers who bought these mixes relive those experiences. So what I'm going to do is this. In this series, I'm just going to read out and add some pictures to Dom Phillips album notes. And I think we're going to start with John Digweed GU006 in Sydney because it's the earliest one of the series that I have in my own collection. So check out what I have here. This is the double box release of John Digweed's GU006 in Sydney. And what's super special about this is it was one of two vertical releases. Like most of the boxes are like this, but this one and the following GU007, if you got the double, the double disc version, it's going to look like this vertical. And, yeah, I just wanted to share that before we get into the album notes, but let's get into the album notes right now. I'm going to read them aloud and provide some pictures as well. So let's do it. Over the past couple of years, the music world has been bowled over by the arrival of the dance artist album. Rightly, acts like the Chemical Brothers, Represent, and Underworld have made groundbreaking long players of solid gold. But this reinvention of dance music into a sci-fi rock and roll, with bands and tours and albums and videos, leaves the DJ, the inventor and interpreter, behind. The situation isn't helped by the badly thought out caching compilations currently flooding larger record shops. Looping together a herd of big tunes, then getting some A-list DJ to lend his name to the sleeve, while Studio Pro Tools do the work, helps labels make money, but has nothing to do with what DJing is really all about. Real DJs make albums of their own every night they play. Their ability to steer people through records they don't know, holding a crowd's anticipation and twisting and turning it without missing a beat is a skill halfway between art and craft. John Digweed is a master of it. This CD, part of a series that sells on the DJ's reputation, not the hits included, will show you how. John Digweed always wanted to be a DJ. Never really wanted to be anything else. When his mates in hometown Hastings were down the amusement arcade trying to cop off with girls, John was hiding away in clubs, picking up mixing tips. He worked 2 years as a gardener saving for his first decks. His first gig was at a hotel. Then he visited Delirium at Heaven in London, fell hook, line, and sinker for this thing called Acid House, and that was it. First, he started his own Bedrock night in Hastings. Then, the legendary Storm, whose first night featured, get this for a lineup, Derek May, Harvey, and Groove Rider. Played at Fabio and Groove Rider's Proto-Jungle Weekly Rage. Then got the Renaissance residence that finally propelled him into the DJ Top 10, and then launched his own Babylicious and Northern Exposure nights. Renaissance resident Sasha was blown away by his unique choice of music, a harder, trancier style than the garage-inflected style of the time that still funked like a monkey. The two have DJ'd together extensively since, mixing 2 Northern Exposure CDs, touring worldwide. But while their sounds dovetail nicely, Sasha and Digweed are 2 quite different DJs. It is Digweed's current range of styles and lengthy, pace-building mixing that you'll find showcased on this double CD, although you'll barely notice the changes. He weaves CD1 from the dreamy 6 a.m. dynamics of Fortunato and Montresor's Imagine through Astral Matrix's unnerving and percussive Toward Omega. He catches the wave of Danny Tenaglia's Elements, crashing to shore in time for the classic Frankfurt trance of Jam and Spoon. Fatima Morgan's fluttering, rhythmic Apache Spur opens CD2, the trancier end of Digweed's Rainbow. The mix picking up the pace as it eases into Sound of Sims' driving and dramatic Rub-a-Dub. Halfway, Deep Sky's Stargazer lets the leash off the acid and all hell breaks loose. Paul Van Dyke's Words pumps melodic melodies into the sky, and Elam's Eerie Out of It eases its pounding back for a colorful climax. John Digweed is a world-class DJ and consummate craftsman. This is his album. You can make your own video. Dom Phillips, Mixmag Editor. You know, I really get goosebumps reading that. And Dom Phillips captures it better than anyone else could in terms of defining what a superstar DJ is really all about. And all this makes me want to do is listen to the mix again right now. But I'm just going to leave you with 3 of my favorite things from this mix because it is really an all-time classic and definitely one of the strongest Global Underground entries. Number 1, the intro track Imagine by Fortunato and Montresor is, for me, one of not only the strongest intro tracks in Global Underground, but one of the strongest tracks overall. And I find myself listening to this track outside of this mix on a regular basis. So I love that it starts out on this vibe. The second thing I love about this mix is that... Where'd it go? This iconic cover with John Digweed, you know, peering through his hands, asking yourself, okay, how did that pick come to be? Guess what? It was Dean Belcher's first time that he photographed a Global Underground album cover, and it definitely gives Global Underground that iconic look that came to define the series. The third thing I love about this mix is that it was released in 1998. And what does this mean? It was released right in the middle of Sasha and John's residency at Twilo. And another person who was holding a Twilo residency, I think he may have moved on to his next residency, but you know, when John and Sasha first started out, Danny Tenaglia was also a resident at Twilo, and I love that he pays homage to Danny with his inclusion of Elements. So those are 3 things that I love about this mix, but this is really about Dom Phillips' album notes, and this, not only this episode, but this entire series is dedicated to him and, you know, just letting his words live forever on YouTube. And that's all I wanted to do. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you're ready for a bunch more because I'm feeling super inspired, you know, to fill out this series. And hopefully each day or every other day I'll be posting the next album in the series, and we'll dive in to Dom Phillips's words and see how his notes evolve and all of that great stuff. So thank you for joining this one. This episode's dedicated to Dom. Rest in peace. Thank you very much.